And we're live. Hi, everybody. How are y'all? Happy
Hey,
April Fool's Day.
everybody.
We're really not having a thing today, so we'll see you later.
April Fools, is that what you're trying to
All
do?
right. Yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
It
Not
is.
really, but no.
I, it's stupid. I'm old. What can I say?
No, no, I love that. But see, I'm the earnest kind that would just be like, oh, okay, and click off.
Okay.
Like I don't get jokes. Like they get me. So
Uh-huh.
it's a
Yeah.
problem.
I'm a prankster. If anybody asks, like, if I go somewhere and I'm trying to do something, and somebody will say, "Is there anything else I can help you with?" I always ask them for, "I'd like the winning lottery numbers, please." And they just kind of look at me like I'm nuts. And I am.
I love that. My dad was a prankster.
Was
And
he?
he's on the other side. So he pranks me from the other
Ah,
side.
that's why he likes having his picture behind you,
Oh
correct?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that's great. Well, welcome everybody. We certainly are here to take some information from you or questions from you today. The only thing we ask is just if you could try to pick the most pressing question you would like to ask Susan today. And oh, good, T Barb, that's great. And if you're going to do any other side questions, let's do those within the first half hour or so. They do suck the energy right out of Susan, and it's hard for her because she has to move from one energy to another over there. So that is difficult. But if anybody has somebody they want to connect with, then you're welcome to do that right at the beginning. And welcome to everybody: Carrie, Sharon, Yolanda. I saw Sharon Sipe. She's here.
Yeah.
And I know that Renee's coming, but she went to get her second shot. Lambie, Cardamancy, Mesquite. All right.
And
Jill
T Barb.
Club,
Thank you, T Barb.
T-Barb. Yep. T-Barb and Jill. Thanks. Cray Cray. All right. Cray Cray.
And
Um,
Lambie, yeah. Cray Cray. I love that idea. I love the name of that. Cray Cray.
a lot of people meet those qualifications. Yeah.
Me.
So she's wondering if you have any idea when she's going to move from Oregon to California.
There appears to be a lot that you need to do in Oregon before you can move to California. Because when I play the movie, I put you in a movie. This is how my psychic thing works. And when I play the movie of moving you to California, I can't do it. It doesn't want
Ah,
to go to California. So there's something
not yet.
holding you back in Oregon. So it's not a matter of when, it's a matter of completing what you need to do. And you're welcome to ask a follow-up question around that. If you could make it kind of just make your questions pretty succinct, right? So if they're open-ended, I can't get to them very well. But there's something you need to finish up in Oregon before you can move on. There's really something holding you strong there.
Okay, maybe she can offer you some insight into that, what might be holding her. Book, I just put you up because that's funny. I happen to have this moon behind me. It's a moon, and I got it from Amazon, and I love it. It has that really nice energy in it.
I
So
noticed that earlier. I
yeah,
noticed
yeah,
that. I was like, oh, there's a glow back there. That's cool.
yeah. If we can't have them always, then we can get something to make it look like that way anyway. All right, so T Barb would like to know if her brother has anything to say today.
Is that T Barb or Linda? Which one?
T Barb.
Oh, okay. Linda also has a brother. She has a brother, Bob. Okay, T Barb.
Oh,
Does your brother have anything to say today? I didn't think about this when I did this, when we picked this day. If you got family on this other side that are jokesters, just be
yep.
prepared because it is April Fool's Day. So I feel like your
Mm-hmm.
brother is a jokester. And I think he's trying to, he has this kind of witty sarcasm kind of personality. he's taking it easy on me because he knows I'm earnest. So he's like trying not to, really take advantage of me. Oh, what a cute baby. What does he have to say? He's saying Happy April Fool's Day. Is it somebody's birthday or is there something today? There's a significance of April 1st. I think it's more than April Fool's Day for him. But he's saying something about a significance around today. I don't know what that is. Cause again, he's kind of catty, he's kind of like, a little bit witty. So hopefully that makes sense. T-Barb, let me know. Yes. Okay. Yes. She said yes and yes. Okay. Okay.
Oh, good.
So then he says, what the significance is. And it's all good. He's, he's making fun of all of us now. And he's saying love and light. Woo, what a man. What a man.
They don't believe in it, but now he's there. He should know better, right?
Yeah. How nice. Book said you look so pretty, Aley. It's true. I love those colors.
Oh, thanks. My brother asked me, it's my brother's 75th birthday today. So I was on with him and he said, are you cold, Aley? I said, no, I have a chicken neck. He told me to.
No, you don't.
But I like pink. So yeah, it's okay.
It looks nice. Mary, does your mother have a message for you? Your mother is well, she's not the most the lady that I'm connecting to on the other side that I want that I feel like has your mother energy around her. She's not like super bold or super out there. She's a little bit quiet. She's a little bit like, feels like she's been called to the front of the class, kind of feeling like she's not sure that she really wants to jump out and say or do anything. But she's really more of a person that would watch things, that would watch everything going on. Like in the family gathering, she would be the one that would just be a little quieter. She enjoyed them, but she would be a little quieter. Let me know if this doesn't resonate with you. It could be a grandmother energy, but it feels like your mother. So her message is that she sends her love, but I just don't feel like she's a real emotive kind of person out loud. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense for you. But I do feel this love coming from her for you.
Oh, that's nice. That's great. It's always nice to feel the mother energy, isn't it? Yeah, I love that. All right. So Carrie wants to know if you see her veterans' disability increase. Oh,
I do. Yeah? I do see it increasing. I'm not saying you're going to be able to like go out and buy a new car or anything, but they're stingy in the government. But I do see it increasing for you. And something is better than nothing, right? So I do see it increasing. Oh, yeah. So that's a good thing. It's definitely going to increase.
Good. That's always nice. And it takes the government so long. The wheels spin so slowly. Oh, here's Linda. This is the one with the brother Bob. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, I for suggesting people subscribe to Aley's channel. You can go over to my channel and subscribe. We appreciate it very much. So thank you, Isis, for doing that. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you from me too.
Bob, whole different energy. Linda, your brother Bob. And feel free to tell me in the comments if it validates or not, right? Because just let me know, yes, it makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense, or, whatever. Bob actually is a little bit more of a talker. He could talk quite a bit. So I'm trying to he started just talking about everything. He started catching me up with y'all's family. Now I know a whole bunch of stuff about your family. I can't really, I couldn't even catch up with him. And it's not that he's a chatterer, but he can talk. He can be the kind of guy that would talk to you. But anyway, I think the bottom line of his messages is that he's aware of the family. He's with you guys. Oh, it's Easter this Sunday, right? It's Easter this Sunday, I think.
Next Sunday.
He's aware of what's that, Aley?
Oh yeah, you're right. It is this Sunday. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's aware of family things, family traditions. He's aware of that. He's aware of missing that. He's sorry he's missing everybody, but he is there with you. And he wants to get in on this jokester thing. So I'm going to tell you guys something real quick, that our loved ones on the other side play jokes on us on this side. And so they're the ones that turn the lights off and on, that open the garage door, just do things in your house. You know, the regular things are, you smell cigarette smoke, or you smell pipe smoke, or you smell cologne, or maybe you hear a special song on the radio. Those are all the normal things. But some of these jokesters like to get a little bit more inventive, and they'll mess with energy, electricity. They'll mess with your animals. They're just, so I'm just saying, you've been warned. This whole weekend, I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, yes, that's what happened with my brother.
Yeah, he's a talk. Like, never met him. Never met a person he didn't connect with and start talking to, and he did. He just started talking. So yes, he sends his love to you, Linda. He sends his love to the whole family. I got chills. He's also he likes his family. He likes to be around family. So he's with you guys. He misses you guys. He loves you guys.
Oh, that's nice. That's always so nice to hear. My brother was like, I have a brother on the other side, and he kept getting a hold of me by turning on my battery alarm, by having my alarm clock go off at 3 a.m, 3 days in a row, until I took the battery out. And then that night it still went off.
That's how you know.
That's how you know.
When you take the battery out and the thing is still going off.
And it wasn't plugged into the wall at all. So yeah, that was very creepy, actually. But I knew it was him. He's just like that.
And do you yell at him like I do? I'm like, I just stop bothering me.
We'll say, well, we call him Doc. We'll say, Doc, hi, we know you're here.
Now you can stop.
Yeah, thank you.
All
right, God. Elaine is here, and she wonders if she would love to hear from her parents, if possible.
I feel a lot of love coming from your parents, Elaine. Very practical people, the kind of people that do, practical, if you know what I mean. Like they always doing the right thing. They send their love to you. I think you have a sister. They might be talking about a sister or your daughter. There's another female that they're talking about, that they're sending love to everybody. They don't want to obviously leave anybody out, but there's big love for you. There's big love there. So I would say that's their message. Yeah. And Linda says her brother's very caring. Yeah.
All right. So Yolanda, her mom's name is Mercedes, or was Mercedes, and she wonders if she has a message.
When I go into your mom's energy, I want to smile because she, I don't know, there's something about her energy that's, I feel like it's a little bit sassy. It's a little bit, like a little bit fun, maybe. Sassy is not the right word, but she just feels like she could be fun, another one. So anyway, your mother, Mercedes, did you get your nails done recently, or do you like to get your nails done? She's talking about getting your nails done. Maybe you got them done for Easter or something. I don't know. But if you didn't get them done and you're thinking about getting them done, she suggests you go get them done. She's talking about your nails, Easter Sunday. You got to look good. And she's showing me that you would do like a pink color, sort of like your icon, like your flower. Like she likes that color. I don't think she likes red. So your mother came through to talk about your nails and what color. I mean, and she says she loves you.
Oh, that's nice. Wow.
Thank you, Mary.
All right, I am.
Any messages about your late
I'm
brother-in-law?
sorry. Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry. He just passed then.
Yeah, he just passed. He has very different energy. Again, everybody just has such different, they're different people, Susan. So, hello. Sometimes I wonder about myself. Did he have something with his stomach? I mean, I don't know. I'm just feeling something in my stomach. I mean, he could have been nauseous from the medicine or something, but I mean, I don't know if you can see my face, but I feel really nauseous right now. So sometimes I have to tell them to stop because I don't need to keep feeling that.
No.
But okay, so your brother-in-law, okay, yes, he says, love to you. He says, thank you for asking about him. He's really, he's like, thank you for asking about me. That's very kind of you, he says. Give his love to your husband, and your family and his family. He has family, so give his love. He's so surprised you asked about him. He's so touched. He's very touched about that. So that's what he would just say is that he's better. He feels better. He feels great now that he's on the other side. He said there's an adjustment period that happens pretty quickly, but he's gotten adjusted really fast, and now he can pop in. Like, he's the kind of guy, I want to say he's techie, because he's the kind of guy who like figured out how to do everything, right? Like some people go sit on the couch. He's like, what does this do? Click. You know what I mean? So, he's popping in everywhere. He's taking full advantage of all the rides over there. So he's doing different things. He's very happy. He's okay. He thinks people are worried about him. He's okay. He's okay.
I think that's one of the messages that we have to remember to tell people, that we miss these people. We love these people. We don't want them to be, but they're really happy usually over there. There's no, they feel like, they're at rest or they're home, whatever. But it's us that doesn't want to, and that's understandable. And yet they are very close to us. We just can't see that.
Yeah.
Beyond the veil, that's all. Unless you happen to be like yourself and you can at least hear them. That's nice. All right, so we've got Jill. She's looking for a grandmother visit, I guess.
Your grandmother loves you so much. Your grandmother and you were friends. I mean, you guys really had this bond that was kind of unusual for grandmother, granddaughter. You just really had this soul connection, like this ability to just really connect. Like, you didn't need to always talk. You could just be together. You know what I mean? And you were just very, she's just showing me, you felt very comfortable around her. She felt very comfortable around you. It was a blessing for her to have you in her life. And she loves you. She misses you, but she's just on the other side, and she watches you. She's very aware of what's going on in your life, and she knows, she hears you. You do talk to her, and she does hear you. So know that she does hear everything that you say to her.
That's awesome. That's a nice connection.
Wow. Okay, so it was pancreatic cancer and liver. So I guess in the midsection, right in the stomach, and pancreatic cancer,
very painful.
It makes your stomach, it makes you not be able to eat. So and it is painful. It's a terrible cancer. I'm so sorry. Yeah. But he's so much better now. You know what? He's saying he's happy to be on that side. That was one hell of a disease, of an illness that he went through. So he's happy to not be sick. If that makes sense.
Sending up love and light to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's nice. Hi, Renee. How did your shot go? She got her second shot today. Good for you. Oops.
Oh, great. Jill says that her grandmother understood her psychic stuff. That's fantastic.
Oh, that is.
What a blessing that is to have somebody. Heck, it probably came from her side of the family. Any message, my husband and I, from our friend Brian C. Okay. Brian is saying something like, it's a trip over here. The first thing he says is, it is a trip. He said that whole tunnel thing, and then this, being over here. He's like, it's a trip, you guys. Like, you're just not going to believe it. Like, he really wants to like be able to like call you up or text you and be like, you're not going to believe this. But he's cool. The message is he's talking about you guys doing something together, and he's saying, keep doing that, right? Keep living, keep doing that thing that you guys were doing together. I don't have enough time to get into exactly what it is, but I feel like you guys got together and did something, whether it was going to dinner or playing darts, or I don't know what it was, but it was something that I felt like you guys did together. And he's like, keep doing that. Enjoy your life. He's with you. He'll enjoy your life with you, through you. Thank you for thinking of him, but don't worry about him. He's good.
That's nice. That's good. Thank you. Yolanda, you haven't done your nails in over a year. Neither have I. And I haven't had my hair cut. So I guess maybe your mother is telling you to do that. That's funny.
And it's kind of self-care, right? I mean, if you can feel comfortable, safe, going to a nail salon or doing it yourself, it's taking care of yourself, right? It's just doing something nice for yourself. I think that was her point. I don't think she was meaning it in you haven't taken care of yourself. I think it was do something nice for yourself.
Yeah, self-care. That's it. Yep. Oh. He passed right before the birthday celebration. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Oh, wow. Thank you for letting us know about these things, the affirmations that you've gotten from this. And we appreciate it. So we've got about 7 or 8 minutes left if you want to ask questions to the other side. Then we're not going to do those, but you can ask other questions if you'd like. And we're going to talk about a few things as well. If anybody has any, let me know or let Susan know, and so we can get your answers for you. Anybody watching the Chauvin trial, and something came up today that blew my mind, and I don't know why I never thought about this, but Chauvin's name is the basis for chauvinistic.
Oh, yeah.
It's the root word. And I thought, boing, it just like smacked me upside the head. Anyway, I thought that was just, I don't know, interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. All right.
I love everybody's flower.
I know, it's spring.
Whatever icon that is. Let's see. Your grandparents. I feel like, Linda, you probably have both sides, both sets. But anyway, I feel like this is your grandparents on your father's side. Is that, or mother's side, or they're both here? I think they're both here. I think maybe they're both here. I'm not sure. Grandparents. So they want to they want to talk about you as a little child, which is what they do sometimes. They, because that's, like that's relevant to them or whatever, or maybe they died when you were younger. I don't know, but I'll spare you all of some of that. But they want to talk about you as a young child. So they you know what? There's an energy coming through and saying you're a beautiful soul, which is a really, really nice thing to say, a very unusual thing to say.
That's nice.
And I hear somebody saying everything is going to be okay. I don't know if you've got some changes died when I was younger. Okay, both there, and they died when you were younger. So that's why they would be talking about you when you were a little child, right? Instead of what a crazy teenager you were. But yes, they want to say that everything is going to be okay. I don't know. There must be something going on in your life. Maybe, let's face it, there's something going on in all of our lives probably right now. It's a really, this is a 5-year numerologically, 2021. So it's change. So we're all going to be experiencing change in one way or another. But they just want to say that everything is going to be okay. I don't know what's going on, but they don't want to say exactly what, but they're just saying that everything is going to be okay. So that's their message. They send you their love. They're honored that you asked about them. They're both there. They're both kind of, I mean, almost competing a little bit. I mean, it's throwing some elbows here to talk to you, but everybody sends you their love. So,
oh, that's nice. There's 2 follow-ups here. One of them was Marge's friend who died, and for the party, I believe, that was supposed to go to the birthday party and everything. Yeah, to celebrate. He died on vacation, and she says we don't know how he died. And then later on, I'll bring you back to Mary, who had a comment to make.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he passed on vacation. We don't know how. You know, I find, and it might just be me, but I find sometimes they don't want to talk about how they passed. Not always. All he's telling me is that he feels like he hit his head, and I don't think there was any. I'm not sure that that's the cause of death, and I don't think that there was any visible, things on his head. But I feel like he's saying he passed out. I'm also feeling a little bit of pressure in my chest. He could have had a heart attack and fell, passed out, hit his head. I don't know, but I'm kind of feeling this in my chest right here. So that's kind of what he's telling me. Who's playing? So let me ask Mary. Let me see. Mary was saying, I'm not sure connected because she was the life of the party. Her name is Hilda. Okay. She was the life of the party. You can follow up with this, Mary. Does your mom Hilda have, or do you know if she's named after her mother or her great aunt or something? Because I feel like there's a namesake Hilda on the other side that might have this energy. But if I'm connecting with your mother, whose name is Hilda, I think I could say that she. What the image that I'm getting now is somebody that would be the life of the party, but also kind of a little bit what's the word? I don't want to say she was just a little zany. If you know what zany means, you know what I mean? Just a little bit not just the life of the party, like I'm having a good time, but just kind of woo, kind of just really kind of bigger than life in that way. I feel like she's showing me that she was clumsy. Like I don't know, like she's walking and it might just be making fun of herself anyway, but she's walking and she would just, I have a sister-in-law like this that would just pretend to fall down or pretend to grab the wall just to, mess with you or something. I don't know. This is the energy that I'm getting for Hilda, your mother. She's very smart, very bright, could hold her own in a conversation with anybody, didn't care if it was a man or a woman. She would just be able to talk to them. And I'm getting all these conflicting, you must have a lot of people over there, because I'm getting conflicting energies coming in. And in a reading, what I would do is identify all of those energies. So I would separate them, and then I would figure out that this is your aunt, this is your great aunt, this is, and then I could separate them all. But right now they're all just kind of coming in together. It's almost like open mic night, and they all want to grab the microphone and say something,
That's funny.
So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get a really good read on her. There's a lot of people over there. Sorry about that.
Okay. So we are now at the half hour. Let's see. And Renee's right. Change doesn't mean bad. Much of us. And the other thing we have to remember is that when anything is really bad, it doesn't last forever. It'll eventually get good. And the same way happens the other way, because that's just what life is. That's what we signed up for. It's just better to not stress over it so much. T-Barb says she asked her brother several times how he died, and he said to drop it. They probably don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm over here. That's all there is,
Yeah. Yep. They don't want us to get hung up on that, because we get hung up on that, and then we can't move past it, right? And
we do.
And it holds us back,
Holds us back, definitely. So,
Elaine, okay. I'm glad that message made sense for you.
Oh yes, that's great. Everybody's given us some really good feedback here. That's nice. So we are at the half hour. So if you have questions like with regard to now, or that's fine. We're not going to do any more on the other side, because that's like I said in the beginning, that wears people Susan down some. So we'll do it again, though. We will. We'll be back again. If anybody has any other questions, I'll monitor the chat board. But I'd like to talk about something with Susan and you all. I had mentioned briefly on one of my YouTubes about the illusion of separation, illusion of time, illusion of all kinds of different things. And so somebody had written as a comment that she'd liked us to talk more about that. So I thought, well, this might be a good way of bringing that into the forefront. So when I'm talking about ideas, and I have to be careful because I'm from Boston, so I say ideas. There's no R on there, and then I drop the R's on everything else. When we talk about the idea of freedom or security, and which one we would choose, we don't necessarily. They aren't real things. Freedom is here. Security is also here, or heart-centered security. If you're trying to choose one and think that you're going to have it forever, and that's another thing about the idea of what Renee brought up, change, when she said things change, and they'll change again. And not all change is bad, nor is it all good. So one of the other things somebody brought up at some point was the illusion of land ownership. And I love that, because how can you own a piece of land? And I don't even mean a house, because that's a physical construct. But, way back when, they said that the wars and the problems that we had were all because people were arguing over land. And the Native Americans had it right. They said, who can own the sky? Who can own the land? Who can own, So one of the things, though, that I want to bring up about illusion is the illusion of separation. And I'd love to hear what anybody has to say about this, but particularly you, Susan. I have come in my learning about different things that we are all one, and whatever happens to one of us happens to all of us. Maybe it doesn't happen the same way or whatever, but we have that burden, that psychic that sort of psychic energy burden of that. But that separation is an illusion. But the problem is that we're fed that when we're young. Oh, it's either yes or no, black or white, up or down, in or out. you know, um, we are made to choose. I wonder what anybody has, do you have any thoughts about that at all? Or do you guides have any thoughts about it, Susan?
Well, I think you touch on something that's really happening right now with the separation. My guides talked about, I also I channel these beings from Orion, and they did I did a couple of channels about that, about how we're all connected, right? I mean, literally we're connected. And, right. And it's interesting. They told me about wearing a mask. Wearing a mask is not for me. It's for you, right? I wear it. So if I have the virus, I don't transmit it out to other people. And so in that way, wearing the mask is the beautiful lesson of karma. It's a beautiful lesson of, I'm connected to you, you're connected to me, and I care about you. And therefore I'm going to wear a mask to protect you. And so I think right now, separation is the biggest problem we have, right? Because it's very much us against them, right? And it's that separation idea that it's not really true. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But they keep pushing it,
Right. They do. Well, we're brought up with it, and I'm not blaming our parents per se. It's just, you're on this team, you're on that team. We're the best, you're not. I'm the smart one, I'm the one. It's ingrained into our psyche, and yet when I went in for an appointment the other day I had my mask on, and I was talking to the ladies at the X-ray place, and there was a Japanese woman that was there, and she was talking about how we always do this for everyone else and ourselves too, and they don't think anything of it. It becomes a freedom and security issue, especially in the United States, because we are so connected to that. I don't know. Is it freedom? Is it I can do what I want to do because I live here and I feel this way or whatever, and it bothers me a great deal. Like it bothered me to watch the George Floyd body cam video that was awful, awful, and awful. Those people were part of George Floyd, and they were sucking the life out of him, really, and they don't with no regard. And the mask issue is a perfect example. The president has asked people to reinstate the mask mandate, and they don't want to because they have a right not to. So what they're doing is screwing over the rest of us in a lot of ways, But anyway, I have seen. Let's see. I'm going to come back to you, Marge, with the Iowa legislature, but I'm going to, Renee, fighting over land. Yep. The value that's been assigned to the resources. We're seeing the same thing with the and pipelines and things like that. And I'm not saying whether I don't really know enough about it, but I know there's been a lot of fighting about those resources. Lambie, you have to keep reminding yourself every day. It is something you have to remind yourself of, because it isn't something that we're brought up with, really. And it becomes an identifier. Have you met people who will, when they meet you, they start identifying who they are immediately? I'm a mother. I'm a professor, I'm a medium, and in other countries, people don't do that. People are, hi, I'm a person. But, you don't see it as much, you just don't see it as much. So there's a lot of ego entrapment, of course. And, but we don't think about it because nobody says anything to us about it because it's accepted. But we are actually walling off that connection, that heart-to-heart connection, those invisible strings that run through. So, Linda, I did believe we were separate growing up because that's how it was. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree that that's what we were taught. And as a woman, older woman like that, we grew up in those civil rights times as well. But what I don't like is it doesn't seem like we learned it. Not you and I or anybody here, but as a
Right.
collective, we didn't
Right.
learn. We didn't learn anything. Yeah.
It's sad that we're having to learn it again, but I guess it's also good that we have another chance to learn it again, you know?
Right. Right. Oh, I like this. Kabir said the fish is thirsty in the water. Well, we can't drink salt water. I wonder why fish can. But anyway, yeah, yeah. I love Rumi. I love Kabir. I love them. I love all the ideas of that. How about this thing here? With land, it's an illusion. If it disappears, it's gone. We talked a lot about that when we talked about that Antarctica information, but we're also seeing what's going on is it Iceland with the volcano? There's a volcano that's erupting, and the Earth is pissed off. The Earth isn't happy.
For real. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Earth is pissed off. I feel like we're trying to balance everything again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
right.
We're going to keep getting the lesson until we learn it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's true, Marge. I mean, that's what happens to one ripples through everything.
Yeah.
And we feel that as empaths, right? As an empath, yes. You feel that. I mean, that's in your body. You feel it inside here.
Absolutely.
It's really hard for us.
It is hard. Yep. It's like seeing animals wounded or children wounded. You feel that whole thing. Yeah. All right. So we've got, your mother-in-law's from Okinawa. Okay. Oh yeah. I don't know what it is, but their spirit, their community is really so loving in that part of the country or the world, rather. Sorry.
That's true, T-Barb.
Yeah.
That's true in so many cultures. That is not true in America, right? I mean, in a lot of cultures, the families live together and take care of each other, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I've even had a social experiment that I do with my students in freshman English class. And I have them, I put the names of like a nurse, a politician. I don't put the names, I just put those labels up. And one of them was a pregnant lady, one of them was a grandmother, one of them was a politician, a doctor. And I asked them you can only pull 2 of those off the top of this burning building, and who are you going to take and why? And not often do I get the old lady, the grandmother. And she's old and she's going to die. That's what these younger people, I usually always get the pregnant lady. She's 2 for 1, and then you can get somebody else. But no one picks a politician. Nobody picks like an NFL or a singer or anything. Sometimes they pick a firefighter. But if I have a group, I break them into 5 or 6 groups. And if I have a group that is Asian or even Hispanic as well, they always pick the grandmother.
Oh.
Because that is their culture. They take care. They don't put people in. And I'm being very general, and I'm certainly not trying to be, what's the word I want to say, prejudice in any way. It's just an interesting thing because I've done it for 20 years. It isn't something I've done once or twice, and I've seen it over and over again. And they say that's their grandmother. She's valuable to the. It's very interesting, it's very telling. So.
It is very telling.
Yeah. So perhaps some of those amongst the masses detest breathing what comes from within themselves on a mandatory basis, metaphorically, literally. Most likely it's self-reflection. So you're saying, Lori Sue, I want to make sure I understand this. You're saying that perhaps people don't want to wear a mask because they don't want to breathe in the air that they metaphorically.
That's deep. Yeah, she has a follow-up. Mask force one to breathe one's own being. Wow.
We don't want to look at that shadow side, do we?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
That
quite
is,
deep.
it is deep. I like it though. I like ruminating on that idea. And there's been lots of memes out there like it says 1968, I think, and two people in a car. I'm not wearing a seatbelt,
I know,
and
yeah.
other ones like that,
Yeah.
But yeah, not breathing in. They don't want to breathe in, or actually, they don't want to look at who they are. They don't want to look at that, but they wouldn't know that. It's an unconscious thing.
That's
Wow.
right.
Oh, this is great. I love all this kind of stuff. All right. Floods in Australia. Look at the cleansing of the land. Yeah, I agree.
Debbie, I had that. I was hit by a big hurricane, and I was a photographer for 25 or I don't know how many years. And my studio, I lost my studio with 6 feet of water. But the thing is that it's cyclical, right? I mean, this is how the land gets built up. Is the water comes up and the silt comes up, and then I mean. You know what I mean? When we live on the coast, it's something that we have to kind of make some kind of peace with, to the degree that we can, right? And it's the same thing with forest fires, I mean, how do maybe we need to make room for Mother Nature, maybe we need to back off from the shore and create, a little room for her to have her say, right? It's hard. It's very, very hard. Because I lost a lot, but I had to go through this reckoning of, this is what had to happen when you look at the science of it, the flora and fauna, all kinds of things happen because that water comes up on it's really, nourishes the soil, and it actually has a lot of really good benefits to, Mother Nature.
But
it's not to us.
It's also true that if we don't release things, then we don't have room for the new things to come in.
It's true too.
And sometimes they might be going, Susan, hello, hello.
They were, they were.
I've released so much in my life, and I try to remember to do that, because it's like that glass that if you have a full glass of liquid and you want more, it's going to spill all over the place. You got to drink some, or you got to, make room for it.
So, make room for it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
True. So true.
And I think that's true of everything we want to bring into our lives. Hello, Starfish HHI. Welcome. Very nice.
Hi, Starfish. I love that, Debbie. Regeneration. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The Civil Rights Museum. Yeah, I agree with you, Marge. That and Auschwitz and those places, they're sacred places, and I don't know how someone could not cry. Absolutely. Absolutely. Unless they were pretty callous, I would guess. But it's nice that you went there.
It's nice that you went there, and it's nice that you allowed yourself to cry, because I think a lot of times we go to places like that and we hold it in,
Right.
So it's beautiful. I think that honors a place like that. I think that's a place we should be allowed to cry, right?
Absolutely. And there are places like sacred cathedrals and so on that carry all of that joy and pain and heartache and love, and those places I find so fabulous. It's like you're right there in the middle of it, and it's oozing. It's great. Yeah, it's great. Anybody else see the movie Sophie's Choice? It's a great movie. It's very sad. I say, like Schindler's List, watch it once. You don't need to keep watching it, but you should see it at least once. Same with Sophie's Choice, and Meryl Streep plays a fabulous part in there. So.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
No choice that I would want to have to make. That's for sure. All right, let's see. Well, you're welcome, Julie. We're glad you're with us, and we're pleased that we can open up some of the communication and talk a little bit about what's going on.
Do you guys have a question in chat that you want to ask about anything? Mediumship, spirituality, psychic, society, anything? Throw it at us.
Oh,
Gently.
let's see. Lambie says farmers and ranchers do control burns. Yeah, I agree with that. Yep. I think that we need to. It's just like yesterday. I was out in the garden and all the dead leaves were all on top of my hosta plants that were coming up, and I cleaned it all out and I got it all ready, and it just felt really good. So that spring regeneration, it really is great energy. That's for sure. Yep. Oh, Starfish, you live on the ocean, so you know what it's like when the waves come in. Oh, wow. Oh, that's awesome. Anybody? Oh, I'll bring up a question. I'm not big on politics, but I've never really been happy with a lot of the shenanigans that Matt Gaetz has done. And I think he's guilty.
He's guilty.
Yeah. He's a creep. He just creeps me out. Just even looking at him, it makes me creeped out. And him and Jim Jordan with his, ignoring his people. I think all of these people are going to be flushed out. I hope they are anyway.
They are.
Yeah, good. We just got to wait. The old waiting game.
We have to wait. Yeah, we have to wait.
It's okay. It's all right. All right, Marge. All right, Lisa Marie. Let's go to you first. She feels like she's having an extreme spiritual awakening. Any advice on how to move through this energy?
Well, first of all, I'm going to just tap into your energy a little bit because you didn't tell me about what was going on with your spiritual awakening. But everybody probably needs to hear this because honestly, we're all going through a spiritual awakening because it's just our time. It's our time. And if you're watching this channel, you're already probably have psychic abilities or mediumship abilities, or you're intuitive or you're an empath. So I would say ground yourself. I think this is obsidian. Maybe I'll get this right this time. It's just a black rock. But it's very grounding. So if you take a crystal, a grounding crystal, and I'm talking to you, Lisa, but I'm talking to everybody. Grounding is so important when you're going through your spiritual awakening because what's happening is your crown chakra is opening up. So you're connecting straight up, okay? And then your energy ends up being up here, and you're kind of like, you're like this, right? You're not stable. You're you could be dizzy. You could be not focused. You could have trouble focusing, like paying attention at work or paying attention on things. Those kinds of things. You could feel lightheaded or dizzy or whatever. So you want to ground yourself. There's so many ways you can do that. You can walk barefoot in the grass. My guides have been talking a lot about touching things, about tactile, about touching the bark of a tree. Putting, they always talk about hugging a tree, but, as long as there's no poison ivy growing on it, it really does do something to put your solar plexus against a tree and hug it. It just does something, right? So if you can't get outside if the weather's not good or something like that, you can ground yourself with crystals. You can ground yourself just sitting in your chair with your feet flat on the ground and send roots down from your feet into Mother Gaia and just see all those roots going down into the earth and supporting you, right? So I have a grounding ring that I had to wear. I had to wear this ring for a couple of months because I was just I was
way out in the sky.
So for me, it was just easier to wear this ring. But you can put something like this in a pocket. I have friends that put it in their bra. So hopefully that makes sense for you. I think grounding is going to be really important to you. Also, water is very good. You could take baths. If you go to an infinity float pool and just float where they have those pools that are your own little pod and they put a ton of salt in it and you just float.
That's cool.
Follow up if you have another question about that. But I feel like for you, Lisa Marie, you may need to be doing some grounding.
I also want to mention shungite. I ended up getting a bracelet, but this is supposed to help also with EMF or electromagnetic fields around your beds, around your cell phone or your computer or whatever. And it's very grounding, but it's also good for, and that's SHUNGITE, and it comes from Russia, I think.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was great, Susan. I like that one. Marge wants to know, is there a difference between a psychic and a medium? And do we all have the ability to be both?
So there is a difference. A psychic, as a psychic, I stand outside of your energy and I look at you. I look at your energy. I look at the energy of the people around you. I can see, I can put in, basically, I'm reading energy. Okay. Now psychics can see people that have crossed over. That's where it gets a little confusing. Most psychics can see people that have crossed over, but they can't do it on command, really, and they can't communicate with them freely. So they might see your grandfather and say, oh, your grandfather's got a beautiful smile and he's smiling down on you. But a medium would say, oh, your grandfather wants to remind you about the time that he brought the pony home and he took you guys for pony rides. So there's a big difference, right, in the actual communication. All mediums are psychic, whether they want to be or not. Not all psychics are mediums. And I find that most everybody could be psychic, and a lot of people could be a medium to a degree. But it's just like anything. They're like degrees, right? Whether you're 10, like wide open, or whether you're a 5, you know what I mean? You can have varying degrees of that ability. And then some people have to, like me, I was born like wide open, like they forgot to close the gate. So I had to deal with that. But some people actually have to lift their energy up to connect, right? So there's different ways of connecting. So hopefully that answers your question. I think
it was a good question. Yeah.
It was a really good question. And I think to some degree, everybody has the ability to do both. And I think as our generations go forward, like in the 2030s, we will definitely be able to do more of that. That's how we're ascending. That's how we're changing.
We're supposed to be able to communicate without talking eventually, aren't we? Just through our thoughts. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. T-Barb wants to know if you can see somebody's third eye might be opening. I hear a noise.
See that.
I hear a noise in my head. It goes thunk, thunk when it.
That's awesome.
I know.
So when it opens, you hear this thunk?
Thunk, like, yeah. Uh-huh.
That's cool.
I haven't been able to do much with it, but I still hear it. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's funny. You want to see, like, well, do I need to oil it, or it sounds a little squeaky. Since it's such a mechanical thing for you, right? So T-Barb, it's really interesting about the third eye thing. I have had clients that I had this one client that her third eye was like this big around, and it was protruding out of her head, and because it was trying to see, she kept blocking it. So it was trying to see, so it kept protruding, right? And I was like, oh my God, we gotta push it back, and then you gotta be careful with this, because it wouldn't ever go all the way back in. It was still protruding. So interestingly enough, like, I don't know that I use my third eye as much as I use my crown chakra and something else. You know what I mean? I'm not sure that I really have used my third eye like that. But so for you, T-Barb, I feel like your crown chakra is like wide open. It looks like those old satellite dishes that, those big ones that would be on the hillside. It would be like this, like this, that's what your crown chakra looks like. It's open, and you are getting information constantly in and out of that. And this goes to that other question that somebody asked about their ascending, and I told her how to ground. When you're getting all this information, it can be a little bit overwhelming. And I think the number one question is, what do I do with it? what am I supposed to do with this, right? So I'm having these experiences. What am I supposed to do next, right? And I think what my guides have been telling me recently is help people. Every day I do readings all day long, and many of my readings are psychics and mediums and tarot readers and energy healers and Akashic Records people, and they're these things because they are naturally these things, but they don't know where to go next. They don't know what to do next. So the guides say all of our role right now is to help people. When we go into the next year, all those people are going to be looking for people like us. Everybody's going to be looking for somebody like us. We are going to be the fad. We're going to be not only the fad, but it's also because they need healing, right? So my guides have been saying, bone up on your tarot, bone up on your crystals, take a class, understand what you're doing, and then help your friends, and just practice that. You know what I mean? So what am I supposed to do with it? Help people, call your friends up, say, I'm going to do 30 free readings. Come one, come all. 30 free readings. After that, you can pay me because there has to be an equal energy exchange. The guides show me the figure 8 sign. It has to be an equal energy exchange. You can't just stop, it has to continue, right? So hopefully that answers your question, and that wasn't too fabulous. But Barb, I think that more than your third eye is opening. I do think you're seeing out of it, but right now you've got a lot of activation in your crown chakra.
Wow. And that connects you with spirit, correct? More so. The third eye is seeing or insight. Yeah. Wow. I love that. That's great. The other thing is, if you're starting to feel like there's too much information coming, try to temper that down by not being fearful. But, that's the hardest part, because we go, oh my God, did I see something? It would be like if a ghost came in the room, or if you saw a UFO or something, and the first reaction would be, we don't want to, because that will block it, won't it? Won't that block what's coming?
Fear is an emotion.
Fear will block
it's a strong emotion. Yeah, it'll block it.
It will. Wow.
Well, you'll want to block it because you'll be running. You'll be running the other direction.
So Starfish said she had her chakras open this week. Oh, that's fantastic. Wonderful. Yeah, I love that. That's great. Yeah. I do every day that I can get out and walk. I do, because that just makes me so happy. It really brings me to, and other people. Do grounding mats really? I've not heard of that before. A grounding mat? I'm sorry, I just never heard of it. Have you?
I haven't heard of it either, but I'm hearing that they do. I'm hearing that they do, but they want to tell you that intention is everything, right? So it can only work. They're showing me, let's say somebody just laid on it, and you know how our partners, husbands, whatever, don't believe us. So they would just lay on it and go to sleep like this is just a mat, doesn't do anything, right? Well, it is going to ground that person, but if you put your intention into it, it'll really ground you. Yes, I'm getting chills. We're all going to have to get grounding mats. I never even heard of it. I guess
so. I've not heard of it either.
You sit on them, you lie on them.
I was thinking that it was like a mat you do for yoga, but maybe it is.
Right.
Know. Wow. All right.
And I'm so glad, Starfish, you had your chakras open. And if you feel safe enough to do this with COVID, go out and get self-care. I'm getting reflexology on Friday. Go out and get as much self-care as you can afford. Get massages, get sound healings, one of my favorite things. Get your chakras aligned, get energy healing.
Yeah, acupuncture.
All of it, any of it.
Oh, awesome. Linda wants to know, can we ground ourselves with house plants? It seems possible. If you believe that you can, then you can. Isn't that it? Like you said, it has to do with believing in something.
Intention. And house plants are nice because as you're caring for something, right? You're showing love and compassion, and it's that beautiful feeling that goes back and forth. That's a good question. Okay. Well, here's the thing about remote viewing. Okay. This brings up a good point. Okay. Lisa, I don't know if you're familiar with Whimsy Anderson, Dr. Whimsy Anderson, who does remote viewing. She does heart-centered remote viewing, and what she does is she asks the person's approval to enter their energy. And if the person says no, she doesn't go in. So that's what I would suggest you do, because I can tell you that I have had people drop into my energy, and I recognize that because I'm very sensitive to that kind of thing. And I will know who they are, and I won't think very highly of them.
Wow.
After I kick them out of my energy. I've had some instances with that. That goes back to the psychic question, right? So when I said I stand outside of your body, that's probably what prompted her to ask this, because remote viewers go inside. They go inside your body. I believe that the target you should get permission. And I think the target can know that you do this. And I think that this is a problem, not to say that you're doing this at all, Lise, but I'm saying that this is becoming a problem for us in the United States with Russia and with psychological warfare. They're able to go into certain people's energies, be they politicians or somebody of power, and actually coerce them from the inside. And I know that it's not as easy as you think, but it also is not as hard as you think. So even if it's just little things, little thoughts, little things, it can be a problem. So your question was, can they feel? So yeah. So my thing is, most people cannot feel that, but I can. Psychic.
So if you had some of that psychic ability, you could probably feel it. Wow.
Or if you're an empath, a lot of empaths, because empath is all about reading energy. Yep. So if something funky shows up in their energy, they know that. They know, they can feel that something's off, right?
Well, and there's another thing to mention, and it's about prayer. It's okay to pray for someone to have the best situation or whatever, but you never are supposed to pray for somebody to have something. It's their free will that you're interfering with. And that's exactly what this whole thing with remote viewing is free will. And so I would say that that's so interesting though. And there are so many things that have been learned from that. I get fascinated by watching Whimsy's show too. I think it's great. Yeah. All right, let's see. I'm coming down to the end here. We're almost done. Let's see.
Linda said she sent her grounding mat back because she wasn't sure that it was working. But Linda, I don't think you need one. I think you've got a big grounding mat outside. If you can sit in the grass or lay in the grass, in Texas, that's we have fire ants down here. So you can't really, do things like that.
Right. Yeah.
But if you can, you can just try grounding outside first. Just try that.
Yeah.
And then Carrie wanted to know if her third eye was opening and if there's anything that she can do.
I wanted just to bring up Pamela because I want to send you some love, Pamela. I don't know why you feel like you're sitting in a pit of worry. Worry is something that is like paying a debt for something you never owe. So see if you can let those worries go up in a balloon and watch them float away if you can. But I wanted to acknowledge that and send you love and light. Okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Pamela. You have to acknowledge that you're powerless. In a lot of situations, you're powerless, and worrying doesn't give you that power either. Yeah. It just makes you ill. It does. It doesn't fix anything, right? So I think sometimes we just have to, when we're worried about something, we have to self-talk ourselves out of it and say, okay, I am worried about this, but let's walk through it. There's nothing I can do. And worrying isn't helping anything. As a matter of fact, it's making me feel bad. So I just have to release it and then just let whatever happens happen and, stay in the now, I guess.
And if you've been doing it your whole life, it sounds
Oh,
like we're just saying, oh, get over it. Well, that's not what we're
no,
saying.
I'm a
Yeah.
worrier.
Yeah. Oh, I can be too. So
Yeah.
that's another reason I resonate so well
And
with
go
that.
for a walk, distract yourself. I think that's what the guides are saying. When you're worried, distract yourself, not by eating, but by doing a hobby, watching a funny movie, watching a funny video on YouTube for 5 minutes. Learn, that's kind of biofeedback is what they're saying.
Take a shower, go swimming. Yeah.
If you feel worried, recognize that and then do something else to distract yourself.
Marge says she wants to learn all she can. I've been trying, Marge. Believe me, I've been trying for, oh my God, 40 or 50 years to learn everything I can, and I'm still learning. So, I think it's fabulous. You'd like to help other people. That's really why we're here. So I just, Mary, I don't want to disappoint you. I see here you wanted to know if you have a message from people on the other side. We do that the first 30 minutes because it's very taxing on Susan. So please come back when we start. We'll be starting another session probably. I think it's April 7th. And so we'll do another one of these. Let's see. Pamela, the same thing. I'm so sorry. Mary. Yeah. Oh, you answered Linda.
I didn't answer Carrie. Is her third eye opening? I think.
Okay.
I didn't think I answered that one. Is there anything she need to do? I do think it's opening, Carrie. I do feel like your energy is going out this way instead of, so much this way. But you are straining. I mean, you're straining this. So I would say relax. Don't try so hard. For everybody, really and truly, these guided meditations on YouTube that are free, they're really wonderful. Honestly, you can get some earphones, and even if you want to listen to the theta ones, which is the brainwave, it's a different level of brainwave. If you want to listen to those, what happens is when you do those meditations for Meet Your Spirit Guide or something, you're actually training your brain to see that, to believe it, to experience it, right? And that's the first step. And then also to believe it, right? So when you go through the meditation and you meet your spirit guide, and then you do it again and you meet the spirit guide again, you're learning to trust that information. Get in a group. We need a group, but groups are good because you can work with another person, like on Zoom or something. I'm really putting together a class, I swear to God. But the goal is to bring people together and have them work together in breakout rooms. Yep. So that, because we can't be face to face, but how this really helps you is just to do it, just to have somebody in your room with you and use tarot cards or use psychometry, which is like holding an object that somebody has and saying, okay, this is what I get from this. This is the feeling. It's really validation that helps you get over the hump of not trusting. Hopefully that makes sense.
That was great. All right, Kathy, any angels and guides? I'm going to go with that.
That's my dog in the corner.
That's okay. We love dogs.
I'm going to let her out. She doesn't.
That's okay.
Climb in the camera or something, because she will. Okay, your guides and angels, any messages from them? Okay, who is this? Kathy S. They're saying believe in yourself, trust yourself, believe in yourself. But they're saying you're doing a good job. I feel like you've made some headway, even if you don't feel like it. I feel like they're telling me that you have made some headway, even if there's small things that you've done. If they were big for you, then they're big. Do you understand what I'm saying? A step this big can be really big for somebody, right?
For somebody.
And you shouldn't judge it as not only did this much, but hey, if that much was really hard to do, if you're climbing Mount Everest, that's a big step, right? So, so yeah, they're saying you're doing good. They are, they're saying you're a little stubborn, you know, which I think we all are. But anyway, they're just saying that you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you're just they're with you. They are with you all the time, and you. There are no wrong answers. So you know you just get to kind of do it again in a different way.
That's right. That's right. Well, we have gone over a bit, but I think this has been very good. And thank you for all your comments, all your questions, all your affirmations. And we'll be back next week. I'll let you know when. And if you would go to subscribe, let us know, and go to Susan's as well, Susan Lynn, Psychic Medium. And if you also want a reading, let Susan know. She does that too. And she's fabulous, as you can see. So we thank you all and send you all blessings and love.
Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to join us tonight. I really do. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.